Hey, how's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So, excuse the, I guess, ultimate comfort that I am showing in this video by just kind of laying down on the floor and shooting a YouTube video. But like I told you, this is Big Ball Vlogs. There's no more of that, talking head, not no more, but not a lot of that talking head, high production video stuff that I used to do. I just got to get content up, and today I wanted to talk about the actual video quality coming out of the DJI Mavic Air. And this isn't, seriously, this is not one of those clickbaity title type videos where I just want, to get the last 60 people that I need to kind of get to 10,000 and get the YouTube stories feature. This is actually, something that I've been thinking since I got the drone. I just hadn't done a video on it because I wanted to give it some time to do firmware updates and make sure that I was absolutely giving, an unbiased opinion of a drone that I thought was kind of like in a finished form, instead of, like a beta form where you're getting a whole bunch of, those after release firmware updates. So, my opinion. The video that comes out of the DJI Mavic Air isn't that great. It's a little bit muted, it's a little bit soft, it's a little bit yellow. It's a little bit on the warmer side, and I think that it could use a little bit of a color change, color profile added, or a little bit of sharpness bumped into it. Now, in previous versions of the DJI software, you had the ability to kind of get the image that you like out of the camera by adjusting some settings. If it wasn't a Pro Series drone, you had the ability to drop in a color profile, like one of those Snapchat, Instagram type filters where it gives you a specific color that you like. You could do it in black and white, you could do it in Sophia. But before you even drop that in, if you kind of wanted to tweak the camera a little bit, you could actually have gone into the camera settings, and there were 3 settings that you could adjust that would allow you to adjust the sharpness, the contrast, and the saturation. So if you wanted a little bit more sharper video straight out of camera, you bump those up 1. A lot of people gonna give you their best settings for the DJI cameras. It's up to you on how you want to set them. I usually set everything as high as possible because I like super sharp videos with a lot of saturation. But that's no longer, or at least not in this version of firmware that we have right now. It could change in the future with a firmware update. So I'm going to try to do this in 8 minutes, and I kind of want to show you what I got out of it. And the reason I think this, again, this is in my eye. It could be totally different for some other people. Some people like slow-mo, some people like soft, some people like super sharp, super contrast. I like those images that just grab my attention, like a stop sign or something super bright and crazy. So let me move this out of the way really quickly. What many people may not know, and in fact, I think I saw a video where somebody told you how to do this the long and drawn-out way by going and downloading DJI Mimo and then doing the editing. You can actually edit videos from DJI Fly. I mean, it doesn't stand out as, there's an editing package in here, but there is a way that you can go in and do a full-on edit. I could probably edit this video through DJI Fly with all the transitions and all of the filters that I want to put in and upload it directly to social media. But we're going to go the short way. You just got to click around and find those yourself. I'm going to go into the album from the DJI Fly home screen. And then in the album is usually where you're going to find the videos that you want to edit to. And I have these files already saved. I wanted to make sure I was working with the highest resolution file. I shot these in 2K instead of, 1080 or 4K. So I have 2 video files here because I wanted to make sure it also wasn't the ND filter. I put on the ND16. Today it was a little bit overcast, but it was plenty bright enough to make sure I was going to get the highest image quality because, it had an ND filter on it. I was shooting, in a bright time when the clouds weren't covering everything. And with the ND filters, because they are brownish, I wanted to make sure it wasn't the ND filter that was causing the brown hue to the image file. And I took it off and I got, marginal difference between ND filter and no ND filter. In fact, I probably could have gone with a darker one and got a better image quality, but that's not the purpose of this video. This video is to tell you how to make these videos a little bit better quality before you post them on social media. So this is the video footage, and I'm screen recording right now, and if you guys don't know what I'm doing on the floor, I'm actually playing with my cell phone right now, but I was also editing on the computer to kind of make sure that I could, get those files to the best quality, and then just kind of like lay down here and play with it on the cell phone. So go into the DJI Fly app, go into the image or the video that you want to edit, and then in the bottom right corner you're going to find a pair of scissors. And I keep looking at the camera because I'm trying to do this in 8 minutes. And then if you click on that pair of scissors, you're going to get the video file that you want to edit. So, or you get the editing package to edit the video file that you want to edit. So what I normally do is, and I'll do a video if you want me to, on how I kind of set up those cinematic shots. I don't do a lot of moving around, you know, to get that cinematic shot, but I do have to do some moving around to set it up. So you see a lot of play in this video right now. But what I do is I take it to the point where all that play is gone, and I know I'm going to do my shot, and that's about right there. And what I want to do is I want to cut that. So on the right side at the top it says cut. I'm going to cut that. And I know that I flew out of this too without hitting the stop button. So I'm going to find a point where the camera snaps around on me, which is about right there. I'm going to hit cut again. And now I have 3 different video files. I'm going to click on the first one. I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to click on the last one. I'm going to hit delete, and now I'm left with the video that I want to edit. And I don't know about you guys, but I'll do a before and after to kind of show you the difference of what you can get if you do a little bit of editing. This file looks a little bit white, washed out, and hazy to me. So again, you can go in and put a filter on it, and if you don't know what the filters are, it's usually the same way on almost every editing app. You have the 3 circles that overlap. If you click on those filters, you have a lot of different filters that you can drop on, you know, a specific color profile or LUT or whatever you want to call it. I usually don't use those because sometimes, you know, they're just not the color that I'm looking for, but sometimes there's some that look really good, or, you know, and I just say I don't feel like doing the editing, so I click on one. But we're going to go back into the trim and all the other settings feature, and what I want to do is I want to kind of mess with the tones. So in tones, this is the feature where in previous drones you could kind of set this up in the settings where you can adjust the sharpness, the saturation, the color profiling before you actually shot the video. Since you can't do it with this particular software version, you're going to have to kind of do it in the editing app before you post, or just leave it the way it is if it looks good enough for you. But for me, I like to make the videos you know, catch people's eyes so that they kind of say, hey, this is a good video. They hit the like button. It pushes me up in the algorithm, and hopefully it gets me to the last 60 people that I need to get 10,000 subs so I can get the short videos, which allows me to post short videos like, you know, like social media videos like Instagram and TikTok you can do. But anyway, let's get this done. I'm at what? I'm already past 8 minutes, so I guess I can slow down. So first thing I want to do is I want to check out the the brightness of this image. And yeah, it's okay, but I'm going to brighten it up just a little bit because I know when I start adding contrast and saturation, it's probably going to darken it up a little bit. So I'm going to bump it up just a little bit. I'm bumping it up to like 24. Yeah, actually I'm at 15. I'm going to stop there. And then, you know, contrast, I like my videos to like not have that white haze. So I don't go super crazy on the contrast, but I push it up until I can't see that white haze anymore, which yeah, right about there, like 12. I got a 12 on the contrast. And then I love super saturated videos, so I usually push the saturation so that I get those greens that like pop. So now that grass doesn't look like it hadn't been watered in like, you know, 2 months. Now it's got that green pop. It's catching your eyes, drawing your eye directly to the grass. Temperature is where white balance comes into play. Now, like I said, the video to me looked a little bit on the warm side, which means it looks a little bit brown. The whites look yellow or brown. And then the opposite of that is cool. So the whites look super blue, or, you know, going from like a steel gray to blue. Now for this, in contrast, if I slide the cursor to the left, as you can see, I'm getting these super blue images. The streets look super blue, the houses look blue, baby blue, everything's just too blue. It's too cool. So what I do is I usually start on the cool side because I don't like that warm contrast unless it's like autumn. And I just drag it up until everything looks a little bit natural. So the sky looks a little blue, the houses look like white. You're looking for something that's close to white as possible. And I stopped about there. So I'm actually now, you know, it's like negative 35. Let's take it a little bit higher. Yeah, let's go like positive 5. You know, just playing with this right now. And then the last thing, which I always use almost every image that I edit, if I do it through Instagram, Facebook, wherever I can do it, is I bump up that sharpness because I really do like sharp videos. And you probably can't see it right now, but in the back there's some power lines back there. And you can't see the actual cables running across those power lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump up the sharpness and see if I can't get those power lines to show those cables. Let's just keep pushing it up until we can see how far we can go. Usually I go about 50. Can't get it at 50, so I'm going to stop because I don't want the video to be super sharp. But I'll go back down where it looks like you're kind of out of focus at, you know, 0, and then as you push up you can start to see the detail in the grass, the clumps of grass. You can definitely see a lot more detail in the trees and the leaves. So about 50 is usually where I usually take it. Now, just a rough edit right now. This is the difference between the previous video and what we just edited. So yeah, I mean, again, a lot of people don't really question whether or not, you know, the video's too warm or, you know, soft. When they see drone videos, they kind of say, hey man, that's pretty cool, you shot that with a drone. Just for me, since I've been playing with cameras for a while now and I'm kind of used to seeing things, you know, that kind of catch my eye. I'm not sure if they catch yours, but they catch my eye. I just thought I'd tell you guys how to kind of like do that in app so that you don't have to, you know, go to your computer and download some kind of, you know, fancy editing software with a lot of color profiling. You could actually put this all together with transitions, stitch it all together, and add music to it, and, you know, post it directly to social media or YouTube. So, hey man, that's all I wanted to talk to you about. Hopefully you're having a decent 4th of July. Talk to you later. Bye.